Alright, let's begin the video by stating this is what this card used to look like. This right here is what this card I'm about to show you looked like back before I got a hold of it many years ago. The whole point of this video is what you will do in acts of desperation, which is a GeForce, it's an NVIDIA card, but it's a Gigabyte GTX 650 Ti OC version 2 1 gigabyte. If I only knew then what I knew now, I should have got the 2 gigabyte card. But to each his own. But allow me to show you the card in question. Dun, 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 dun. Shit, I can't get it all on the screen. And when I lay on my bed, then I'll stand over it. Yeah, I bought this many years ago and modified the hell out of this card. Many years ago. And the whole reason I modified that card and took the cooler off and did all that stuff to cool it was I didn't have the money to go out and buy another video card, which was this card here. For those of you who are not in the know, that'd be a 750 Ti, 2 gigabyte. This card came out in 2014 while the 650 came out October 9th, 2012. I couldn't remember all this crap off the top of my head. But see, this is where the strength of my little argument comes down to. I knew that my 650 Ti was pretty good at 720. So, God damn it. Let me guess. Yep, there we go. So I knew that I could overclock that card and get a little bit more oomph out of it. And I did. I overclocked the hell out of that card and I got it to just as fast, if not faster, than a 750 Ti. Now, how much did that cooler cost me? I know what you're thinking. That cooler is stating 250 watts of cooling capacity. In all honesty, I don't know if it was really capable of 250. But they kept this card nice and cool. And I didn't run the fans super wide open to keep them cool. Let's see if I can get a view down the side of the card. I glued every last one of them little heat sinks on there with thermal adhesive. And I got that darn card smoking, buddy. I mean, warm. I mean, it was hot. And it just kept going and going and going and going. And I know what you're saying. Why am I still talking about some old piece of crap when I can be talking about the 660 here. The 6600. Why am I talking about this instead of that? It's because, like I always tell folks, you got to work within your limitations. Back when I got this, or had this, I was running ARC at 720p, and I was getting probably, and I forgot I had this darn thing turned around. Well, I guess you can see my old computer. Yeah, this used to be my computer back in the darn day. I'm going to eventually pull the board out, pull the CPU out, change that, change the RAM. I'm going to eventually just get rid of the guts out of it. Just get rid of it, just give it to somebody. This cooler here was can't remember if it was a Dark Rock or Black Rock 3, whatever the heck they call it, but it was $110. I got it because underneath that is a AMD FX 8320. I overclocked it, so it was running hot and needed all that cooling. But I know what you're saying. Why am I giving a crap about this card here? It was one of the last cards my grandmother gave me before she passed away. She literally died a few months later after she gave me that. But like I always tell folks, acts of desperation. And say that card still runs, at least as far as I know. Last time I ran that computer, it was still running. But I don't really game with it no more. I declocked it and returned it back to factory settings and all, and it still putters and spits and does this little thing, little Pinto, just go, Pinto, go. But see if I can get this other video card out. Make sure there's something inappropriate in this drawer. And for example, why am I still talking about that when I could be talking about this? That is see if I can see what it says, because I can't remember what this is. I think it's a GTX 1050, if I remember correctly. Yep, 1050, 4 gigabyte. Let's see. Like I tell folks, acts of desperation. I had what is it called? I had a AMD 580 die on me. Okay, I couldn't find a replacement, so I had to stick with this. A friend of mine had this card in his system until I upgraded his computer, and then he left me this card. He went and said he didn't need it, so he just left it to me. So I said, okay, well, I'll just hold on until I'll probably never need it. Well, act of desperation. My card died. I had to wipe the old drivers out and put this card in. So, and then when I got some money, I bought this card, which is a 60, was a RX. Is it RX? I think it's RX 6600. So, let's see if I can scroll on in there. Yep, RX 6600 Merc X2 8 gigabyte. And I was running that card a long time. I do mean a long, long time. But I come into a problem. And what was that problem? That game right there. This game right here would not run for shit. All my other games would run just fine. But that one. So, what did I do? I upgraded again. I watched and watched and watched. And then one day, I saw where something was going to go on sale. Literally that day. So what did I do? I bought it. I jumped on it as soon as it came out. And what was that? Dun 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 dun. The Radeon RX 9060 XT, 16 gigabyte, $300. Couldn't beat it. It was faster than this card. Well, let's just say in that game it's faster, a hell of a lot faster, but in most of the games, I still miss this card. If the other games, hold on a second. If the other games on here would run just as darn good, let's say, for example, if all these other games played just as good as, or if Stalker played just as good as the other ones, I wouldn't have had to upgrade. And see, let's see if I can find system info. System info center. There we go. No. Just show you. I'm running 64 gigs. 64 gigs of RAM. 16 core, but it's technically 8 core, 16 thread. AMD discrete card, a gigabyte motherboard, which is the X570 Aorus Elite, and the system version is -CF, which I don't know what the hell that means, but just in order to show you. Oh yeah, and for those of you who did not know and may not care, I switched to Bazzite. I'm not 100% on Bazzite at the moment. I'm basically dual booting. I'm gonna eventually run that once I get it fully upgraded. That is, if I can get the motherboard and all, because I lost my damn job. I lost my job working for a company, and since I'm pissed off with them because of the way they did me, didn't even have me work 3 damn days and then fired me. I'd worked 6 months for the company, 6 months or more doing something, and then they fire me. But there you go. Griffin Grading and Concrete. I ain't gonna show you the back because it's got the phone number on the back. But I worked for them for over 6 months, and then they freaking let me go because they said that I was too slow and as such was an endangerment to others, because it'd have others come in and help me or assist me, and which would endanger them. Never heard of that shit, but okay. But back on subject. This card here, for those of you out there who have older computers and older stuff like that, work within your limitations. Okay? Work within your limitations. I knew my card could only do 720p. Hold on a second. 720p reliably. Okay? 720. It could barely, let's see, this is what I like about this site. Okay? This site will give you a green check mark for basically 60 frames and better. 30 frames is yellow. 15 is like orange or whatever. But see, here's the darn thing. If you look, they rated these both the same. They're both the same. Okay? The memory is 86.4 gigabytes. 86.4 gigabytes, so they were the exact same speed on memory. Now where the differences come from is right here. The TMUs, which is texture, it says texture something, like texture something units. Then there's ROPS, which is random, shoot, what is it called? It's ROPS, it's something that's basically pixel fill rate. Okay, if you look, the 650 has got more texture fill rate than the other one. But here's the kicker. Here's the main thing that you need to look for. See this? 17.36. That's the 750 Ti. Now watch this. 14.86. Mine beat it in texture fill rate, but it was losing in pixel fill rate. So I needed to basically fill that gap. So I had to overclock. Now I will admit, another thing that they beat me in was I only had 256K of L2 cache, while the 750 had 2 megs. Which I didn't know at the time. Didn't think it'd matter. Because, in all honesty, it didn't matter. Because when I overclocked the ever-living crap out of that 650 Ti, I literally walked the dog on that darn 750. But see, here's the darn thing. Like I said before, you've got to work within your limitations. I didn't do that with a stock cooler on there. And I found out after I put the cooler on, after I put this big old cooler on, that the memory was unstable when I overclocked it, because that's what I also did. I overclocked the memory to get more speed out of the memory. So I overclocked that darn thing quite high. Yeah, it's a pile of crap. Another pile of crap. That's what you can expect when you move into a house and then you segregate it into one damn room. And then everybody else wants to pile their crap into your damn room. And then you might have a shoebox worth of space. Pisses me off, but looks like a dang rat's nest. That's what it looks like. But back again on this. At 720p, I was able to play Ark. Ark Survival Evolved at a decent speed. Did it look perfect and great and all? No. But I used basically, I'm trying to remember what that software was called. Afterburner. Yeah, I had the Afterburner software set up so it would pop up whenever I started the game, and it would show in the top right corner or left corner, one of them, in one of the corners, all my stats I needed to know, which was memory usage, which I knew that thing only had 1,024 megabytes. So I knew that as long as I kept it below 1,024 megabytes, I should not have to worry about it having to offload from this card to the memory. Because if it offloads from the memory, or from the card to the memory, it slows down. So, as long as I kept all the crap on this card, it'd run fine. And that's what it did. It looked like a blocky mayonnaise, well, not mayonnaise, Vaseline spread mess. But it worked. It worked and it ran fine. Like I said, I upgraded from that card to a 580. Well, technically it was a 480. Then I sent that back and then got a 580 in its place. The RX 480, and then went up to a 580 because the 480 was so dang loud. But that, and it had the clip-on fans, which was neat and novel and stuff like that. But the stupid things didn't work worth a crap. But then when I went from the 580 and it broke, like everything else in this darn world, everything dies eventually. I used that card over there for a little while, and then whenever I got the money, I upgraded that card right there. I stuck with that card all the way from basically when it was near brand new. No, it wasn't brand new. It was out a couple of months. But this was one of the cards that slipped through the what is it called? The Bitcoin, fell through. So nobody was wanting to buy the card. So I bought one of them for $200. And it was great. It was fast. It was great. But like everything else in this darn world, something gets thrown in the darn system. A wrench gets thrown in the system. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope y'all understand, and I'll put a link in the bottom of the video of what this site's called, where y'all can look for yourselves. That way, when y'all get a video card, or before y'all get a video card, y'all can look the thing up yourself and get an idea of where in the tier it sits. Because see, I'll just show you, for example, I built a friend of mine a computer. Roxy, calm down. Now this is the computer I built for him. It's almost a mirror of what I have. So I got aftermarket cooler on mine, because I'm overclocking. Mine's got 64 gigs of RAM when his got 16. He's got an XFX card while I got a Sapphire. But that's a 9060. I don't know if he'd give a crap about me showing you his rig and all. He shouldn't care because it's just a rig. But oh, you ain't gotta love this was in the view or whatever. But yeah. Smells good. Still smells good. It's shave soap. I haven't sold any. I made a fair amount, but I ain't sold any. Yeah, that's the only kicker. You make so much of it and then nobody buys it. See you, rocks. But hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. Hopefully this moving crap didn't throw y'all off, because I only got but one darn camera, and it won't let me turn the, however you say it, won't let me turn the camera around. It won't let me switch from one side to the other. So, and sorry if y'all hear the damn buzzing noise. It's because of that stupid ceiling fan.